It seems like in the last year, Colin and Samir have taken social media by storm, becoming the de facto news anchors for the exploding creator economy, interviewing top industry folks, influencers, and celebrities. But it hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows. In fact, back in 2019, they were thinking about calling it quits. What changed? They got an absolutely incredible brand deal opportunity that completely changed their lives. So what is it about Colin and Samir that brands can't get enough of? Let's break down 3 of their big brand deals to see what we can learn from their sponsorship strategy. So first up, Storyblocks. In their video, How Much Money Did YouTube Pay Us?, they placed a simple little lower third in the first few seconds.
How much money do you think YouTube has paid us?
I'm gonna say...
Okay, so we see where they wrote sponsored by Storyblocks, but it's what they say that really matters most. Play that again.
How much money do you think YouTube has paid us?
I'm gonna say...
Now, if you watch my brand deal reaction on Lily Singh, I mentioned a special technique that she used called auditory stimuli. It's used to heighten awareness without being direct. Pretty tricky. So with Colin and Samir, they're talking about how much YouTube pays them while showing their video is sponsored by Storyblocks, basically linking the concept of money to Storyblocks.
But what you're probably wondering is, how much money do we make from AdSense? Is it enough to actually be significant to our business?
So since we started this channel, we've done about 8 million views. Total.
You're probably wondering why I showed you these clips. It doesn't mention Storyblocks whatsoever. That's because Colin and Samir are creating a masterful narrative. They're providing a behind the scenes look at how difficult it can be to make a sustainable income as a creator.
But just 6 months ago, that wasn't the case. I was moving back to the East Coast because I couldn't afford to pay rent in Los Angeles.
Colin and Samir is not a company. It doesn't make any money. It doesn't have a business plan. It doesn't do anything.
I just wake up and I'm like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. I understand that. I feel that way too, man.
And then only a month later, I was on a flight back to LA because our business had changed drastically.
Anyone else super invested in seeing how this is going to play out?
But one of the most important things in a creator business is recurring revenue. Revenue that's coming in every single month. So then you can actually stabilize and figure out how to experiment and build more content. And for us this year, the reason why we are able to be full-time creators is because we were able to sign year-long partnerships with brands.
One is Samsung and the other is Storyblocks.
Storyblocks was the first brand to partner with us on a year-long basis. And that played a major role in allowing us to become full-time creators.
Ah, here it is. Storyblocks is one of the good guys. They allowed Colin and Samir to come back from the dead. By the way, who do you think watches Colin and Samir? Oh, right. Filmmakers, photographers, creators who consistently need access to stock assets. See where this is going?
In addition to making videos for Storyblocks on our channel, like this one, this video sponsored by Storyblocks, we also make videos for them that go on their channel.
Well, that's interesting. We just got a peek behind the scenes of the deal they have. It's not just about creating integrated videos that live on Colin and Samir's channel, but they're actually pumping out content for Storyblocks' YouTube channel. But more on that later.
With the Storyblocks Unlimited All Access plan, they have everything that you would need to tell a story, including high quality footage, music, sound effects, and even After Effects templates. The best part about Storyblocks is that they have flexible subscription plans, so no matter what your budget is, you can find the right plan for you. Storyblocks supports us and creators like us, so we hope that you support them as well.
So here's the bread and butter of the sponsorship. Colin and Samir use all this momentum and showcase how Storyblocks has helped them and then explain how it can help you too. They also do a great job of easing any concerns their audience may have about the cost of the service by showing the different pricing options for almost any budget. They even throw down social proof by highlighting other creators that use it too.
Go to storyblocks.com/Colin and Samir to sign up. Our brand partnerships have been years in the making. With Storyblocks, for example, we first worked with them in 2016 on a project that we did with our first company for Gatorade. And that was our first touch point using Storyblocks. So we've used their product for years and kept in touch with them until we've gotten to the point we're at right now, where it actually made sense to lock in a full year partnership.
Talk about a big time call to action. This isn't just a link in the description, here's our vanity URL. No, they have history with the brand. They've actually used it for years. So if Colin and Samir are saying that it was only after all that experience that they felt comfortable forging a year-long partnership, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, it must really be good. I should probably sign up. Second sponsor, Cuts Clothing. In Colin and Samir's video, How Minimalism Became Mainstream, they integrate the brand about 2/3 into the video.
And a friend of ours runs a company with a very simple and straightforward story. Cuts.
How you guys doing? Welcome. We're stoked to work with you guys.
Yeah, man. We're really excited.
One of the unique ways that Colin and Samir grab your attention is how they utilize stylistic editing to their advantage. They put big "sponsored by Cuts" text on the screen when they're meeting the brand. Not everyone can get away with that. You know, they're like Salt Bae, just sprinkling some salt on some quality brands.
Cuts Clothing makes fresh, minimalist shirts that you can wear year over year.
Their message is super simple. You can shop by the collar or by the cut.
This is a minimalist brand, so you're gonna get 9 seconds of minimalist talking points. I mean, there's a little more to it than that, but you saw how much they were able to communicate in that short amount of time, right? Colin and Samir are experts at distilling a brand's identity and value proposition into something resonant and succinct.
Companies like Cuts have simplified their message to make it very clear, and for us as storytellers, we also have to think about simplifying our message and making it easy for people to understand.
Again, they drive home what the brand is all about, and more importantly, show the website to make that visual connection.
Here are some of the outfits that we would wear in a given week.
And while we do like to express ourselves through our clothing, it would be nice to have a go-to shirt that we just don't have to think about as much.
And what I really like about Cuts shirts, which I'm wearing one right now, is that I can layer anything on top of them. So it's an extremely versatile shirt, and honestly, it's extremely comfortable. If you're interested in checking out one of these Cuts shirts for yourself, Steve actually gave us a link for 15% off your first order. That link is in our description, and we also linked their Instagram so you can check out more styles from them.
Okay, this is super slick, right? We get a Colin and Samir fashion show, right? More emphasis about how the brand simplifies their lifestyle, and then we get the call to action with, you guessed it, a discount code that cuts the price. Third sponsor, Luminar AI. And I know, AI can be a little creepy sometimes, but this one is a little more Wall-E and a little less Terminator. In Colin and Samir's video, How to Make Better YouTube Thumbnails, they plug Luminar AI by Skylum just over 3 minutes in. That's Skylum, not Skynet, so don't panic.
Okay, so what we're gonna show you guys, we're gonna take some of our worst performing thumbnails and try and make them better thumbnails according to those 3 things that we just mentioned to you.
Now to do that, we're gonna be using Skylum's photo editing software, Luminar AI. It is a photo editing software that makes photo editing really easy and honestly just a lot of fun. Like you can do some incredible, amazing things.
When you're promoting a brand that isn't widely known yet, like Luminar AI, you need to show the product in action. Colin and Samir make sure to put the brand name and logo right in front of you, taking up the whole screen, and then they show the software. You can sit there and explain the product all you want, but without the visuals to complement that, you might as well just talk over a blank screen.
Samir does not make our thumbnails because he doesn't know how to do any photo editing.
Wow.
That's just the truth. But now, honestly, yesterday he spent the entire day basically making thumbnails and he was sending them to me last night at 11:30.
Which is typically past my bedtime, but yes, I was making thumbnails. Colin, feels like you're attacking me right now.
No, I'm trying to express how exciting making thumbnails was for you yesterday because of Luminar AI.
Now let's talk about chemistry. This is difficult to do if you're creating solo content. Really, you're just gonna like sit there and just act like I don't help you.
This right now.
All the research,
Seriously?
YouTube thumbnails, posting on Instagram, all the late nights doesn't mean anything to you. Okay, really, just leave. Fine. Anyway, if you're collaborating with a friend or just another creative, having good chemistry helps so much when doing a sponsorship. Colin and Samir are still talking about Luminar AI and hyping it up, but they're also taking digs and bantering back and forth. It just makes the whole thing so much more dynamic.
I mean, I'm gonna go as far as to say that I think this software is the ultimate thumbnail creation software for YouTube creators.
This is basically what's called a bold claim. You see, brands make these claims all the time, but for a creator like Colin and Samir, with their reputation on the line, to make a claim like that, that's a big deal. So you know their audience is gonna pay attention. But of course, you gotta back it up.
One click, this is basically editing the photo as it sees fit. So that's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
So already you can see the difference here. This is edited and that's not. Okay, what gets really interesting here is some of these AI features. This has to be one of the coolest things that I've ever seen in any software. You can actually change the way the sky looks. This is a nighttime shot, so let's take a look at like what does Starry Night 1 look like.
I mean, what's crazy is that it also mats out the image around the palm trees, the flag you can see there.
A few clicks and we've just made like a really dynamic image. I mean, look at that. That looks insane. Let's do a sunset. Wow. To be honest, that looks really real.
Did Luminar add the helicopter?
Yeah, I think so, right? Look at that. That is insane.
Wow. By the way, do you think Luminar can add a cool helicopter to our background? Yeah, right. This is exactly why fans and brands trust Colin and Samir. For the fans, they're seeing firsthand Samir's bold claim backed up in real time. For the brand, they love nothing more than when an influencer sells a product beyond just a, hey, this brand sponsored us. Check them out. The other great thing are Colin and Samir's reactions as they're using the software. They're genuinely excited and in love with what Luminar is doing for their content.
Hopefully you learned a lot about YouTube thumbnails in this video, and you saw how impactful Luminar AI can be to totally change around your thumbnails.
Again, I'm not someone who's really familiar with editing software or good at photo editing, but I felt like I was like a wizard in Luminar AI. Like I was able to do things that I couldn't dream of.
It does feel like that.
Okay, I don't know how you can watch that segment and not be convinced that Luminar AI is awesome. I mean, just like when they introduced the brand, the chemistry and enthusiasm that Colin and Samir have talking about the brand is contagious. I mean, talk about a vote of confidence. So what can you learn from Colin and Samir's brand deal strategy to make your own sponsorships more impactful? There are 3 key takeaways. Number 1, if you're an up-and-coming creator and struggling to get brand deals, offer to make exclusive content for the brand social media pages instead. Just as Colin and Samir create content for Storyblocks YouTube channel, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands of brands out there who are basically completely clueless when it comes to creating compelling content for their own social media. So while you're growing your platform, why not get some more experience under your belt and tweak your pitch to be less about you and more about how you can help them? Number 2, oftentimes when brands send the influencer brief, a lot of creators think that they have to follow it verbatim and that they can't provide any sort of feedback about what's being requested of them. Nonsense. You know what works on your platforms. You know what your audience will respond well to. Just as Colin and Samir crafted a minimalist narrative with their Cuts clothing integration, you can educate your brand partners about which key messages you want to focus on for the biggest impact. And number 3, don't be afraid to give lesser known brands that extra TLC. With Luminar AI, Colin and Samir knew they had to be more hands-on with the product because most people just weren't familiar with it. Especially if it's a brand you absolutely love, lean into that and let your enthusiasm shine through. So which creator's brand deal strategy should I deconstruct next? Let me know in the comments, and then hit subscribe and click that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when my next sponsorship reaction video comes out. And one more thing, do you want intel on new brand deal campaigns? Every week I send out sponsorship opportunities exclusively to creators on my email list, so make sure to join using the link below.